Eric, how do you see the world differently through the lens of real estate? Like, I always hear you talking about these goggles that you wear that you can just see everything differently. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, the real estate goggles, man, or just the goggles of life. Everything has a backstory. Everything that's ever been built has a backstory. Someone created it. It was someone's idea in their head. Once you understand real estate, because really anything that in the world sits on a piece of real estate, and you can't build more of it. That unique earth that sits below everything that's ever been built. I'm always asking the right questions when I have my goggles on. I always say, who owns this? Like, how did this get built? Like, I wonder how they did these entitlements. Like, I wonder what the process was to get this to the finish line. What year was this built? Like, all these questions are me doing an underwriting while I'm getting to know somebody. Everybody I meet, I'm underwriting them. These are my goggles. I love to teach this, and I've never actually built a real estate course around this until now, but I'll talk to you about that soon, Colton. But the reality is when you put these goggles on, you see the world differently than 99% of everyone else that sort of is marching to the beat of a drum set by someone else with hidden agendas and hidden layers. When you put the goggles on, you start to see through it all. Suddenly, everything in life becomes a deal or an opportunity. That vacant lot, why is it vacant? How come all these homes are built around it right here on this coastline of Laguna Beach, but that one's not built on? I wonder these questions everywhere I go. And it's because I have my goggles on. I've learned the language, I've learned the rules. It could be a cash flowing apartment complex. I start asking questions. An aging strip mall. What could this be? Were we not just in one of the most beautiful malls you've ever been in, but there was no people in there? And what did I tell you, Colton?
Turning into one of those, could turn into a smart community.
What could this be? Because obviously these malls are dying around America. So what could this property be? How could we improve it, make it better, reevaluate its value proposition of itself? Again, I had the goggles on. When you're around me, you're absorbing my way of being, that energy and that courage and that conviction and that certainty, which is what you really want.
Yeah.
The confidence that comes out of that, when I'm wearing the goggles, you absorb. That's why this work is so powerful that I do with other people. But once I can gift the goggles away, you'll never do life differently again. Let me ask you, like, how many times do you see people now that don't ask the questions that I might ask? It's because those people haven't learned the rules that I've learned. As you grow in life, you get near people that know different rules. Yeah. The conversation's different, the energy's different, the actions are different, and so are the results. Yeah. Like, the results get different. Yeah. And I'll tell you, when you really consider where wealth actually comes from, like, real estate is the holy grail. When you have the right tenants, it's a gold mine. That is a goggled thought, right? Even your own home could be the key to building wealth through its equity and through the leverage that comes out of that equity. So the truth is, once these goggles get on, most people will start seeing opportunities that they never considered. But the truth is, most people are going to walk past opportunities because they don't have the real estate goggles, or just goggles that I always talk about. Every single day, if you don't know what to look for, you're wasting time, or you could be getting near people that know what to look for in life. Real estate is like learning a new language, but once you speak it fluently, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you speak it, you can't unspeak it. You start seeing possibilities where others cannot, and that is where opportunity exists. One of my favorite stories is about a client of mine who saw an abandoned building. Everyone else saw liability, but he saw potential. After a lot of creativity and figuring out where he had leverage, that warehouse literally netted him $2 million in profit. It became such a unique co-working space, and then he decided to take that model and expand it across America. He figured out how to tie in the city of these old buildings that had a lot of restrictions on them, and how to get literally law in place in some of these cities in America where he could get around the red tape because the business model was so unique. It created such unique community. There's one in our hometown. It's a great story if you really read between the lines on what some of these guys are doing all around America now, but it started with one. It always starts with one. It started with one idea, one execution, one courageous action, and then you turn a big opportunity that came out of thin air into $2 million in profit, and that's just one. You could compound that over and over and over again. And if you're smart and you know the right rules and you got the goggles on, that $2 million came in the form of tax-free dollars that could be reused in another deal, could be refinanced, and actually could fund any dream you've ever had, any toy you've ever wanted. with tax-free dollars. This is the game that most people don't see, they don't understand, they're never playing. Colton, I want to remind our audience here that if you guys out there that are maybe listening to this are intrigued and you're ready to start seeing the world differently and start putting the Eric Rock real estate goggles on, okay, and you want to sort of unlock all these hidden deals, all these contracts that are everywhere, they're in plain sight, then I want you to click the link in my bio and join the Rock Wealth Academy. And I'm gonna teach you this language. You wanna talk about love language? This is my love language. This is the confidence that pours out of my soul. It's because I've done this so much that I can't not see it. And it's one of the gifts that I give to people that are in my sphere of influence. This is the strategies and the information that is about 10% of it. It's the courage to go act, which is 90% of the problem. You get around people that have the courage, the conviction, the confidence, the certainty, and you will start taking action too. This is what we're gonna do in our community. Click the link, you guys. I'm excited to see you there. Colton, thank you for letting me do this, brother.